minute.
They come. You got a mic? No, Kenny came. Hey, hold on, bro. You can have a seat. You want to play basketball?
Yeah.
She remember basketball.
She's up here.
Sport.
I'm sorry I disturbed some of you down there, but I just want to say, some people up there, some people up here. I just want to say, my wife and I want to say a couple of things. First of all, we want to say thank all of you for coming and celebrating our 50 years of marriage. And some of you are probably saying, what does that 50 years mean? Well, I got one thing to say about it, and I know my wife probably has something else to say about 50 years. But I'm going to tell you, last night I started thinking about it, and I want to tell you a few things that 50 years of marriage made me think about. And some of these are going to really hit with you. We got 3 beautiful boys. We didn't have any girls. We had 3 beautiful boys. All of them went to college. All of them were successful. One of the things we stress with our kids is the first thing you do when you get out of college is buy some property. And every one of them did that. We don't care what it is, buy something and invest in it, and it means something to you. And they did that. The other thing is, we got 6 beautiful grandkids, and maybe one day we're going to have some great grandkids, and that's going to go on, or maybe some more grandkids. But let me tell you some of the other things we had. We've had 3 houses. We've had 22 cars. We've had 36 years of tuition to private schools.
How many votes? Thank you.
15 votes. Yeah, that was my next one. We had 15 votes. We on our last vote. I'm not buying another one. Thanks to my wife. One thing I like to say about my wife, she has always been with me from the standpoint of financial. My wife and I can say we have never argued over money, but we have argued over who's going to get the last scoop of ice cream. In there. So now to kind of put it, but we've always never argued with money. And one of the things that I've been very appreciative of, if I would come home and say to my wife, you know, I'd like to buy a new boat. And she would say, no. And then she may come back the next day and she can say, well, if you wait the next year or you wait 6 months and you can buy that boat or that car. And that's always worked out. But I never realized after that, the furniture came. You know, I want to get some furniture. So we would go ahead and get the furniture in that. But there's a number of other things that you can talk about, material things in a marriage. And I like to say to all of you, I don't know if it's going to be some rocky roads, been some good things, some bad things, but the other things that's been important have been you. Many of our friends are right here. I don't see him. Bill Wright? Where's Bill Wright?
Right here.
Bill, there. That's my lifelong friend from D.C. He and his family, all Mike, his son, his other kids all around. Raise your hand, all the Wrights. They all flew down from D.C. to come down, and we really appreciate it. Chandi right here. Right here, she's over here. She's waving to us in there from that. But they all come down and they're with us. But you know, we all have a place down in Virginia on the water, and our kids grew up down there. And the Sheltons used to come down every week, spend some time with us, and it's a nice, restful place. You kind of get it. He's got his own lake house now. Go up there. I mean, he got a mansion now. Oh. Yeah, that little cottage we have was it the shame in there, from that standpoint in there. But he's got a beautiful home on Lake Oconee, I think.
Oconee.
Oconee. Okay, I don't know all that, but I'd just like to say we really appreciate you coming down and spending with us. And Mike, I'd like to thank you for the food. I know you know. Some of you may not know, there's food. I started dialysis in January, and it's a life change. It's a big life change. But I'm adjusting to it. And the thing about it is when you come down here, all I got to do is tell my clinic, and they make arrangements for me to go to clinic down here. So it's not a problem. And if I want to go to North Carolina, Colorado, wherever, go. But one of the things I learned from somebody is when you go on the dialysis, don't hide it from nobody. Let people know. Because it's something that's going to happen. And it happened. Why it happened, I got a reason. I think I know why it happened. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to move on. I'm going to look at the positive. But thanks to the positive, this is what's made me positive. My wife. And we're going to stick together no matter what. And with that, you can see I talk more than anybody in the family. Now I'm going to let my wife talk. Marty.
Set it off.
Set it over.
I've been looking, I can't find anything.
Well, can I?
seriously,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say we appreciate all the help that we
Speak up a little louder.
You're good. We appreciate all the hard work we put into building our house and raising our kids and trying to do what's right. And I think it's worked out well. And from this point on, the thing I really think of is having the family atmosphere in the house, raising the kids, making sure they ate right, went to school, they did.
Speak up, please.
It's been,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you know, everything has worked out fine.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Bill, my lifelong friend, you want to say something? Uh-oh, I know. Is Bill right?
I was just going to say one thing, maybe two, three, maybe four. Everett kind of told the story about 2 months ago. It was my 50th anniversary. And he was there.
You speak up.
And,
Speak up.
You can't hear me?
No.
Well, SOL. So anyway, thank Marty for having us down here on your 50th. But I've been knowing Everett for 60 years. At 12 years old, I was in the 7th grade, and we were studying Europe, and Everett came in from France.
Yeah.
So the teacher, the little boy, but this big, yes, Everett, he's from France. I never seen no black people in France. So, you know, they put Everett back in the back of the room.
Sit back in the room.
He's sitting back there, and I'm like, I wonder does this guy speak English? So later on, I went up to a friend of ours named Gerald's house, and he was out there playing with Everett. I said, Gerald, that's the new guy from France. Does he speak English? Gerald said, yeah, he speaks English. I said, Everett. He said, what? Yeah, he speaks English. So we've been friends for 60 years. They were together 50 years. I didn't meet their wasn't at their wedding because I was away overseas and I couldn't make it. But Everett's father was very instrumental in me coming in the military, even though I got drafted. But everything his father did, I did. And we followed each other. His career is about 20 years before mine. But I went in as enlisted. I came out as a warrant officer. Same thing Jack did. He went overseas, I went overseas. He came back to Walter Reed, and I came back to Walter Reed. 20 years apart. So Jack used to like to tell stories. We used to call them Jack lies. Jack can tell some lies, but I ain't going to talk about them. Now Jason told them. But the family, we were friends. Our kids were friends. Now we got the friends with friends and friends with friends. And sooner or later, he's going to have friends. But anyway, thank you for having us. We had a good time. And maybe have 50 more. But at mine, I forgot to say is, if I had to do it all over again, probably the same woman.
Yeah. Can I have my 3 sons come up? my oldest. Brandon, where's Brandon? Ask Brandon to come up here. Brandon and Jason. Kyle, why don't you go ahead and say a couple of things?
I got you, Cal.
I didn't think about any much to say, but it's just thank you all for coming out. I'm gonna be a little bit louder. Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you. Truly family and friends that I've grown up with, that my parents have exposed me to all of my life when I look around this room. It's truly family, not just blood. It's a family, as I call it. And I'm really glad to celebrate this day with my parents. My parents are incredible. They raised 3 incredible boys. Thank Brandon for hosting. And food was good. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much.
Brandon? Brandon, our host, he's done all kinds of work. This is his house, and we're very thankful.
I'd just like to say family is important. Always remember that. Whether you have your arguments, whether you have your fights, your battles, you know, that's still your brother, that's still your father, that's still your mother. Just always remember that. Simple as that.
Amen.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
Jason.
Not much for words. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Special to see your parents celebrating their 50th anniversary. I think for us, we hope we have the same opportunity. And just want to say thank you for everything you've done.
Okay. Thank you, and again, thank you. Got plenty of food. Please enjoy yourself. Let the kids do whatever they're going to do. Are the horses coming? A horseman coming.
Horses will be here tomorrow.
But we got plenty of food and drink. Erica, I'd like to thank you for your hard work.
Yeah.
Erica's Brandon's wife.
Yeah, thank you, Erica.
Judith is Jason's wife. And my newest little Brett. Did I say Kyle? Kyle's wife. I'm sorry. And there, and little Kyle right there. And JC. JC is right there. JC holding our other newest little granddaughter. And there. And again, you guys come in, and Jordy is here, right here. You saw Jordy in here. And the other grandkids are all running around in there. But anybody want to say anything? Now's the time.
Mike, come on.
Oh, okay. Mike's always got. Let me tell you about Mike. Let me tell you, was Mike's coming up. Our best friend, Bill, and our best friend Leroy passed away about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago, and we were at the service, and Leroy's sister asked me to say a few words and ask Mike and everyone, and then she told me to stay 5 minutes. So I was up there, and the preacher came up behind me, and I didn't know he was behind me, but I can look, as you look out in the service, you know somebody's behind you. Then all of a sudden I saw the hand hit me, and he came off, and that's telling me I didn't go on 10 minutes. So Mike gets up there next, and Mike gets up there. The preacher comes down, gets behind him, stands there, puts a hand on him. Mike keeps on talking. Keeps on talking. Damn it, I ain't gonna get off. Turns around and tells the preacher. The preacher said, oh. He goes on back. And this is Mike. He said his piece for the next half hour.
That's what you call a lawless lie. This is a little impromptu, but I always speak from the heart, especially when it comes to family. Telling my age here, I'm 47, and I've known Marty and Everett for that long. So it's like having an extended family, another dad, another mom, right? My dad, former military, like you said, would always be hard on me. Everett would be always the one to talk me off the ledge and tell me, you know, son, it's gonna be okay. Your dad's crazy. That worked out for many, many years. And Marty, I've always known her for a smile. I mean, you would never ever see this woman not smile. I had the pleasure and honor of being her dentist, and she smiled in a chair like that. She was smiling the whole time. So I was thinking on the way over some of the stories that we shared growing up down at White Sand Harbor, which is our summer home that we shared between the families. And you know, it brought me to believe, or the thinking about superheroes. You know, we have kids out there. Where's little Brandon? Is he around? Little Brandon. Okay. Well, but you know, every kid, you know, the Avengers just came out. Every kid thinks of this superhero they want to be like. Well, growing up, I wanted to be like Everett. I wanted to be like my dad, Bill. I wanted to be like the late Leroy. So I created this alter ego, called him Captain Bell. Bill, Everett, Leroy. Some of the traits, you know, that you go through, you know. You gotta have a superhero, like a style, a cape. Well, it was a combination of a little bit of everything. Everett could talk his way in and out of anything. We call that the lawless lie. Bill was the jokester, right? He could, he would have you do tasks that you couldn't do otherwise, right? So when we're little, and maybe this is called child abuse, as we know it today, they would have us move rock piles while they sat and drank alcohol on the deck, just for the heck of it. And we hear these stories growing up about the great things they've done, and Marty would always whisper, "That's a lie, Mike, don't believe that." Right? So whenever Jason, Brandon, and Kyle and I, we always get together, we try to like relive some of the things that these crazy guys once did. We learned quickly, you couldn't really walk through fire. I've got the burns to show. Kyle, I'll tell you to take your shoes off, he'll show you some of the coals and stuff he walked on, because we saw our dads walking through fire. This guy is a captain. I've seen him navigate through tropical storms with 3 little kids in the backyard with the whole community out there looking. He taught me that you could persevere. You can weather the storm, literally weather the storm. Right? So I can go on and on and on, but there was this one story that I thought about, and I'm afraid away, but we were going to dinner. I had been like 5 or 6 years old. We were playing in the creek, and I got saturated with mud, dirt, everything. But Marty told me, you know, we're gonna still take you to dinner. My parents are gone. I was spending the night. College, when y'all start remembering this, you were too young. You weren't even existing. Right? That's how old it was. But I didn't have any clothes to wear. And what they did was they put a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I would walk into a restaurant and I would say, "Why is everybody laughing at me?" And Marty would say, "Oh, no, you still that smile, you're fine." And Kyle and Mr. Lawless here, Everett, was just falling out laughing. Well, I went home and told my dad the story. So he called Everett, and it was the time that you put me in the Hulk Hogan, the Incredible Hulk costume, and I was walking. I didn't have any shoes, but I had these big feet. Walking through a restaurant in this country town with in the summer with Incredible Hulk outfit. So I learned a lot of that. Was humbling. I learned to humble yourself. So it was humiliating to a few, but it was very humbling. So I'll share that story. Needless to say, I'm saying this. This is a great family. Lots of love, lots of laughs. And my dad mentioned, you know, being married to these women, my mom and Marty. These have got to be the strongest women on earth to deal with these jokers. Yeah. So taught me a lot of life lessons, and most important of all, they taught me love. Because without that love, you wouldn't have gatherings like this. Not getting emotional, but throat's getting dry from drinking. We'll cut it. We'll cut it there. Love these group, this family. Taught me everything, and you to another 50 years. Because that man says he can do it, he can do it. To another 50 years?
Yeah.
Another 50.
Another 50.
Another 50.
Thank you. Everybody enjoy yourself. Thank you, Mike. Get this man a drink. Let me look down in there and see what I can do.
DJ!
Get some